fixture between Rockdale Ilinden and Mount Druitt Town Rangers. Rockdale 7, Mount Druitt 0. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank our partners for bringing you this afternoon's fixture. Our major sponsor, MKD Transport, gold sponsors, NCWA, Macedonian Cultural Welfare Association, PCFS Logistics, Glad Group, Pino's Dolce Vita Fine Foods, Simico Partners Accounting, NPL Customs and Compliance, Marco Polo Foods. Our silver sponsors, Audrey Australia, Your Consolidated Group, Cityview Group, Tempe Tyres, Rasha Scaffolding, B&B Bricklaying, Level 33, Swift Air, Vortex Group, Mark Consulting, Orchard Grains, HT Wills, Niji Sushi Restaurant, Bella Transport, Briggs Specialist Contracting, Sydney Civil, Superbird, Lang & Simmons George, Liquor Stacks Reeski, Broad Air, Joe's Poultry, Direct Check, VA Architecture, Chemist Hub Rockdale, Zoomway, SCIS Property Group, Zappia Produce Group, EMC Civil, Gerard Maluki Partners, Sydney White Building Supplies, River Roski Equipment Warehouse, At Paul Cars, William Roberts Lawyers, Tiny Cocktails. Our 2025 apparel partner Stato, Club Suppliers, AVA Audio and Visual, Son of a Baker, KST Buses, Visco Foods. We'd also like to thank our signage partners from around the ground, and we urge you, supporters of Rockdale, to please support those sponsors so generously support our club. As we wait for the first grade lineups, I'd just like to advise you of our next two fixtures. Next week, Rockdale will be playing away in Wollongong at Wing Stadium versus Wollongong FC. 20s at 5 p.m, first grade 7 p.m. That's next Saturday, the 21st of June. Our next home fixture here at the Ilinden Sports Centre will be on Sunday, 29th of June versus Sutherland Sharks FC. 20s kicking off at 1 p.m. and first grade at 3 p.m.
Positive of it? So correct so far.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Oh, there we go. That's issue one. Issue one's done. Easy as you like. We keep that cable.
Yeah. Is your cable?
Okay.
No, that's our cable.
That's the big one that we need.
We're going to need it everywhere.
Yeah, correct.
Don't leave without it. Now, I just want to make sure, because I don't want this like just pulling on the cable like that, so I'm just going to like, as long as I've got like a little bit of slack like this,
Yep.
I'm okay.
Well, they're both about 3 metre cables, so I think we'll go through.
Yeah. We won't be jumping off.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless there's a bicycle kick, but don't quote me. Don't quote me.
That's when I throw you over the phone.
I might just untangle it
Yep.
for the moment.
Thank the Lord for Amazon. These days,
Yeah.
City had nothing. Yesterday, I just flicking through at like 6:30 at night.
It's better to just pay for the Prime.
Yeah, that's what I did.
It's $10 a month. If you need it, it's there. Sometimes it's fucking better than Store DJ or Mannings or whatever.
Pull up dribble. Where'd you park? Ended up back in the bush. Oh. Broadcast starts as they walk out.
I'll let it or you do it.
I'll kick it off and I'll have a
Who's this? Evan, can we get your score prediction?
I'm going to say Rockdale 2-0.
3-0, mate. 4-0.
3-0.
Could be 5.
Could be 5.
He's in Bali.
Parents on.
Alright, now Druitt's in there. Just read it down.
Dylan. Is it Alexander?
I'll screenshot this.
I do.
Having your life second.
I'm just texting the guys.
No, no, all good.
Just a quick audio check because they're testing it there and make sure it's working on the stream.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre on the lovely fine weather.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Yep.
Thank you, Evan. Yep.
Are you ready to go?
Okay.
Put that in the bag.
Thank you. Thank you. next week. Next week. That's right. Evan, I just asked my mate. Apparently that's on. The broadcast is on, correct? Yep.
The we start when they come out.
Anytime you guys want to start, audio's ready to go.
No, yeah. There's the refs. There's down.
Also, they mentioned those championships.
Yep.
Because it's like something competition.
Yeah.
And the hardest part is the not swearing.
Yeah, that's right. Evan, you mind if I use this? Is that okay? Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Don't get over This is pretty fucked, if you think about it. This is... Nicholas said don't choke. Put the mic up a bit.
You're vertical.
Hey brother, how are you? Saw you, brother.
He's wet just today.
Yeah, today from New South Wales.
Was that football floor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told him to come past if he gets a chance.
Julian, Mark's brother. From New South Wales. Nick, mate, if you want to get on the mic, let me know.
What do you mean? Crossing life to Nick on the sidelines?
Hey, he's never been done before, has it?
No, we can try it.
Something different, huh? Yeah, tell my brother you came up with it, not him. Be a bonus.
Ready? Good afternoon and welcome to the NPL New South Wales clash between the Rockdale Ilinden and Mount Druitt Town Rangers. You're here on broadcast with Abdul Salam and
Thomas Paletic from United by Football. Abs, first of all, mate, how's your day on this sunny, wonderful afternoon?
yeah, it's been great. We were out at Valentine Sports Park earlier with the Football for All gala day today, and you know, if the people don't necessarily know who we are, you may have seen us at A-League, you may have seen us down at the NPL, and even at grassroots, on your phones, on your TVs, and We're here today commentating our first game.
We are.
At the Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre. You know what? I believe it was the first game we attended this season, so it was a bit of a how do I explain it? It's a bit of a
surreal moment.
A bit of a surreal moment. We come back for our first commentary game, so we're keen for a good game, Tom, today.
Yeah, absolutely. As well said, it's been a dream of mine personally, been a dream of yours as well since we started this podcast 9-10 months ago, and it's come to fruition here, and hopefully a spectacle unfolds before us on our eyes.
Yes. So before we get going, we'll run the people through the lineup.
Yep.
For Rockdale Ilinden, in goals, Nicholas Soras. Number 5, Giorgio Speranza. Number 6, Isaac Danzo. Number 7, the Baker, Alec Yurizevsky. Number 9, Moody Naja. Number 10, Brendan Shakalan. Number 11, Lachlan Constable. Number 22, Blake Rusciuto. Number 24, Ali Ogla. Number 88, Christopher McStay. Number 99, Matthew Karamalevsky. And on the bench, number 16, Michael Marchevsky. Number 17, Bray Ovens. Number 18, Jordan Gradowski. Number 20, Ronan Mulgrew. Number 23, Oliver Pufflet. And number 45, Jasper Swadling.
And for the opposition today, Abdul, the away side, we've got number 1 in goals, Dylan Niski. Number 5, Tef. What a name that is. Number 6, Jared Marciola. Number 7, Garang Awok. Number 10, Joao Pedro Oliveira Santos. That's a shout for the biggest name in Mount Druitt.
Pedrinho for short.
Number 11, John Azar. Number 15, Caleb Jackson Brown. Number 20, Thomas Lopez. Fun fact, I went to school with Thomas. Yep. Number 21, William Rankin. Number 27, Shaden Sam Powell. And on the bench today, we have number 2, Alexandra Trajanowski. Number 4, Zach Sifligo. Number 16, Stefan Giglio. Number 19, Jackson Goggins Barrett. Number 32, Jordi Fluet. And lastly, number 38, Abdullah Ailed.
Hey, we'll run, as we can see, the teams are out right now. Run through the tail of the tape. Rockdale currently sitting in second. Paul D's side, 2 points off Marconi. Marconi plays St George FC at 3 p.m. A draw loss for Marconi today could mean Rockdale go to first place. They're 12 wins, 4 draws, and 2 losses. Scoring 14 goals, conceded 42. No, that is incorrect. I believe it's the other way around. I believe it's the other way around. I believe it's 48 goals and 22
I'll tell you what, there's no league in the world that would concede 14 and score 42.
No. They've got a 10-game unbeaten streak, having won 4 of the last 5 games, 8 from the last 10. And their last result, they defeated 1-0 at Marconi, 1-0 at Marconi. And I'll be honest with you, I think that was probably the biggest game of the season so far, and they stood up on the day. What about Mount Druitt, Thomas?
Yeah, Abdul, coached by Andrew Montgomery. Currently sit 15th. Hopefully they're looking to overturn that today. They've got 2 wins this year, looking to make it 3 draws and 13 losses. Now, Abdul, I believe you got that correct now for Mount Druitt. Scoring 14 goals and conceding 42. Unfortunately, they are the league's worst attacking side. However, in defence, they are the second worst defensive side. Again, looking to improve on that today. 4 losses in a row, having lost 9 out of their last 10. And the big one here, they've lost 2-0 to St George FC in the last round. Abdul, round 19, looking to make amends here at Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre.
Yeah, look, it's very much a David versus Goliath clash.
Correct.
You know, if Mount Druitt get anything out of this game, it's considered an upset. Rockdale come into this game expected to be winners, and anything less than that, I think, will be disappointing for them. And that's no disrespect to Mount Druitt, but when you come into a game, I think it's having lost 9 out of your 10 last games and only drawing against Sutherland, it's going to be a tough task. And fun fact, before we kick off, the last time Mount Druitt won an NPL game, it was the last time Rockdale lost an NPL game. That was on March 30th. Also, this could be a superstition, but Mount Druitt have won the toss, so maybe it's a sign of events to come. We'll see. We go. Abdul, we have kickoff in about 5 seconds. Ref's looking towards us. Yep, ref, we're ready to go when you are. Here we go, Abdul. All right, any moment now, and we are off. Alrighty. So, what are we thinking? How do you think Rockdale's going to play out today, Tom?
Yeah, listen, I think they're steady. When you're almost 10 unbeaten, you are 10 unbeaten, looking to go 11. I think, Abdul, it's going to be the same tap as you said before. I think they're going to be calm. They're going to be efficient. They know what to do, and they've been here, done that before. Premiers obviously last year, looking to go. When you defeat an informed side around the 32 into the Australia Cup, Marconi, there's going to be no doubt in my mind that Rockdale are going to come out here, especially at home in front of their passionate fans.
Yeah, no, 100%, and that's John Azar early down the wing. Hey, I'll tell you this though, on a Mount Druitt side, if there is anyone in Mount Druitt that's going to be able to punch their ticket today, it's Joseph Gibbs. You know, he's a bit of a journeyman. He played for the Sydney FC Academy, played for the Royal Olympic Club in Charolo. The Wanderers, the Jets, Keflavik, Starman. So he's been to Iceland for, I think, 5 years of his career.
To Iceland, I do.
No, unfortunately not. And when it comes to the NPL, he's been at Blacktown last season before coming back to Mount Druitt. There we go.
Great ball here.
Through.
Rockdale, well cleared by Tef. And we present our first corner of the game to Rockdale Ilinden.
Look, Brendan Sholikan's looking dangerous early, and it's already looking to be a tough day for Mount Druitt. So we got a corner here at the moment.
You can see the Rockdale Ultras are excited for this corner, Abdul.
Where are they sitting?
They're over there. We'll see if the Rockdale can score off this to celebrate with their fans.
Here we go.
Beautiful delivery, high and back post.
It's the Bakers on it. There we go. It's still in. And
Well
that
cleared
is
by Mount Druitt.
cleared out. That was Jared Macarola that cleared it there. Look, they've got a tough day, and you can see the numbers already. They've got about 7 at the back, and it's not going to be an easy task for them.
Here we go. Rockdale to the box. Ooh, not the best clearance there. Tef, I think, is about 7'5", and he's cleared that. Baker's on it again. Unfortunately, Alec Yurosevsky couldn't earn his team a corner, and we have a goal kick to Mount Druitt.
So how's your day, Tom?
Well, that's very well, Abdul. Yeah, and it's culminated in a commentary performance with my co-host and good friend from United by Football, obviously yourself, Abs, and I'm excited. Here we go. Lucky break.
Look, it's a beautiful day today. I'll say that for Sunday football. It's one of those days. And
Abdul, as a player, obviously in Division 3 yourself, nowhere near the NPL level, would you prefer to play on a Saturday night under the lights or a beautiful Sunday kickoff 3 p.m.?
Sunday Albo.
Yeah.
Has to be Sunday Albo. There we go. We see it played forward.
Ooh, not the best through ball there.
Mount Druitt have a chance on the counter. It's played down the wing. They're looking to hold possession at the moment. I think that's a smart option, because if you give Rockdale too much ball, they're going to punish you. We've seen it multiple times.
Yeah.
We saw it 3 weeks ago against St George City, where St George in the second half gave him all that ball, and they punished them. And, if you give him chances, they're bound to score, especially with a player like Alec Yurosevsky up front. 20 goals in 18 games in the league.
20 goals in 18, you were saying?
Yes, 20 goals.
That's a different level of
Thomas,
return.
have you scored 20 goals in your career?
Probably all up, Abdul.
There we go.
Unlucky from Modi Najir.
Look, Tef's been kept busy so far, and they're looking to take on that left side.
Next day back on the ball. Decent delivery in. Back post. Off the line by Tef.
There we go.
Oh, break for shooter, mate. We shouldn't be shooting from there.
There we go.
Comfortably maintained by Chris McStay. Here's Modi Najir. Well defended by Mount Druitt. Show him the line, show him where we've got to go. Abdul, what do you think of Chris McStay's performance, number 88 there? Brilliant delivery.
Baker just couldn't get to it. Look, I believe he's a Scottish international, played overseas in Scottish League One. Yeah, played for Clyde and played for Sutherland, Sutherland Sharks before moving to Rockdale. He's a great commodity for the league, and we've seen a number of Scotsmen come over. Mark McNulty, obviously, St George City.
Scored last night as well.
Yeah, look, and it's only it's only a way of saying how good the NPL is here. With NPL New South Wales, it's to come from Scottish League One, to come from those countries out those ways, and to play in this league and to be able to compete. It tells you, we may look at the NPL as a second division here in Australia, but in reality, it's up there with some of the best in the world.
Rockdale playing short, decent ball in.
Tef's been busy.
Yeah, mate, I'll tell you what, when he's 7'5", he's cleared it well. Ooh, unlucky there.
Recycling the ball.
Abdul, I feel this is going to be a repeating story here for Mount Druitt.
Yeah, look, don't count him out just yet.
Definitely
the way they're defending, it's a matter of whether you can maintain it for the 90 minutes. Here we go, dangerous into the box. It's another corner. Yeah, it's a matter of whether they can maintain it. And I genuinely think that if they're able to hold him out for the first 45 and potentially, get to that last 10 minutes of the game where it's still 0-0, you have every chance. But at the same time, you're talking to I believe it's the best attacking side in the competition.
They are the best attacking side.
And, it's going to be a tough ask for them. But
it'll be a tough ask.
As we were doing our notes earlier, Thomas, we were looking through, and there's a few players out at Rockdale that have had quite the vast experience. We're not going to drop too many facts today, but I found this one interesting. Moody Naja, the number 9 for Rockdale, and then as they take this corner.
Let's see what Chris can deliver. Delivered a brilliant ball in.
It looks to be cleared.
Here's Alec Yurosevsky. And there is a foul there.
Foul. might be a card here for the Baker.
Listen, Abdul, I think that's a fair challenge. Got in, got there first. Credit to Mount Druitt. Put his body on the line.
Yeah, look, back on Moody Najjar.
Tell me, my apologies.
You know, he represented Australia under 19s. It was called up to the Syrian national team back in 2023.
Right.
Played for the Bulls and Melbourne City in the A-League, 56 games in total. They spent 4 years at the Bulls as well, which was quite interesting. He's also a former Wanderers Academy player. Thomas, you're, you know, as known on the internet, mate, your favourite club in the world.
Yeah, I've got that.
And he won the Y-League, the good old Y-League Golden Boot back in 2018-19. He's also not just of Syrian descent, but of Lebanese descent. And I found that quite interesting. Yeah. There we go.
Beautiful ball there. Shaden's going to calmly deliver that. And we resume possession here with Mount Druitt Rangers. Dylan Neseski with a beautiful throw.
Look, it's also, oh, here we go, the pressure. It's also interesting to see Rockdale, how they're playing up front. You've seen Jurevski cover, not just down the middle, but he's been able to go to the left quite a bit. You know, they're kind of floating.
Oh, here we go, Alec.
Is that number 20? No, that's a great save.
Great save. Covered his ground there well. I'm sure he performed some of those back in Div 3.
You know, 8 saves in the grand final, mate. Doesn't go too far.
Sorry, there was rumours that you started on the bench, Abdul. Was that?
We conceded 1 goal, and I can point the finger at who. But we're not here to talk about my performance, nor your performance in the Division 3 grand final. Yeah, look, I think when it comes to especially Rockdale's season, and we'll touch on both their seasons throughout the game, it's been up and down.
It has.
It really has been up and down. And here we go.
Beautiful interception there from Rockdale. Dylan's coming out here, and he's done well there.
And he's sent it onto Bay Street. But yeah, like just touching on, it's been polar opposites when it comes to the season.
It has. I believe Mount Druitt sitting 15th. You were saying at the start.
Correct. And if Central Coast Mariners pick up a victory against, I think they're playing Manly today. There's a potential that Mount Druitt finish last. And if you didn't know, in this league, 15th place plays a playoff against second place of the New South Wales League One. And 16th goes straight down, and first place comes back up from League One. It's a tough ask, and
it is.
You know you're seeing a lot of teams now moving the market.
Correct.
And it's like we said, it's been a tough ask for Mount Druitt having to compete with seasoned teams, and you know with their recent rise into the NPL, it's showing that it's not an easy
beautifully
way to
worked here, Alec Jurevski. Tell you what, Niski, the number 1 for Mount Druitt Rangers. Alec won't let him go. Beautiful save there from Dylan Neseski.
Some would say the baker's oven is just heating up right now. We haven't completely gotten to the point, but yeah, we play it up.
Abdul, I want to take you to number 11 for Mount Druitt Rangers, John Azar. Started on the bench last week, Abdul, against St. George FA. Talking about John, I think he's a really interesting character here, and we've seen a couple of touches with him early on the ball. I think he's looked promising. I think if Mount Druitt Rangers are looking for someone to lead their attack, I think there's none better than John on the left wing.
Yeah, 100%. And if you're going to trouble, like we said, if you're going to trouble Rockdale, you're gonna have to take them down the sides.
Correct.
They're typically a team when they have the possession, they will bomb their fullbacks up. They will go up. They'll send numbers up the field, and I think if you're able to take advantage of that space, so we've seen teams in this season be able to do it. You know, watching the Wollongong Wolves against the top sides of this competition, they have been one of those teams that have done that well. And I think if Mount Druitt are to do anything similar today, they might have some luck. But again, like we've said throughout the call, it's a tough ask.
Correct. We've got an attacking free kick here. We've got the 7'5" Tef in there. Gets his head on it.
It's gone over the bar.
I think he's mistakenly done that a clearance, Abdul, instead of a shot on target. However, well done, son. Get your head on it. And resume possession here with Nick Suarez from goals. Abdul, I've seen Blake Rushuto come onto left wing. He's earned his team a corner. Plays in the heart of defence for Rockdale, Abdul. He's been a mere mountain, especially in that grand final last year as well, Abdul. Have you been impressed with Blake so far?
Yeah, we were fortunate enough to be at the grand final, and there's a lot of players in this side that, you know, played a big part in their rise last season.
Correct.
A massive rise, and he's been one of them. And, you know, when you look at him and have his composure right there on the ball and what he's able to do with the ball going forward from the back, it's definitely an asset. And it adds another layer to the way you can play football. Here we go down the left wing, Ali Ogla. That's gone for a goal kick.
I like it there from Rockdale. You can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to bring that 6 in and that 8 to connect the possession, and then we're trying to overload on the right-hand side with the right back trying to overlap on the right wing. It will work for Rockdale, I think, because Mount Druitt look to play very, very narrow, especially off the goal kick.
There we go. look, it's we've seen it. What are we now? About 10 minutes into the game, I believe.
About 10, 15.
And it's been the same thing. It's been Rockdale obviously trying to hit them with the possession. They're trying to hit them, to get that early goal.
Absolutely.
And Rockdale, if they score one, they're going to score multiple.
Correct.
But Mount Druitt have held off well, and that's credit to them. But as we said earlier, it's a matter of whether they can hold on. Play on.
Possible foul there. The ref decides to play it on. William Rankin there, not the best clearance, he would say himself. However, Rockdale clear it long.
Look, and as Steph gets his head to this one, I will say this: he's very much that new prototype of centre back. He's athletic. He can play the full game. His stamina is one of his assets, and he's quick as well. You can't beat him in the air. You can't beat him in a foot race. He's hard to get past. And to be honest, it's only a matter of time before he starts to get into his the best form of his career.
Correct. Chris McStay here, lovely through ball there from Rockdale. Chris unlucky there. Blake Risciuto. And we should resume possession here with Rockdale. Abdul, what do you think of the new hypervenom boots on our good friend Matthew Kamarasovsky?
To be honest, there's not many boots that fit the size of my feet. I have to get the 14Es, the extra wide ones.
14Es?
So I couldn't give you too much of a skilled opinion on that. But
I'll tell you what, mate, when they came out in 2013, 2014, I bet you every 13-year-old, 14-year-old kid had them Abdul with Neymar. That spiky hairstyle, mate, it was a joy to watch. Here we go, Chris McStay again.
Shalakan on the ball.
Okay, delay some ball in. Nisevsky deals with that with ease.
He's a skipper for a reason, and despite their bad form, these last sort of 10 rounds or so, he stood up. This is where leaders are made. This is where champions are built. And you might have a tough season this year, but who's to say that next season these boys don't grow into men effective? There's a lot of young players in this team, Tom. An interesting. We'll see how it comes out of this. Oh, it's a great tackle.
Beautiful challenge
great
there.
Tackle by Jared McCrolla.
Unlucky there.
Even when we were looking through and doing our research before this game, you see the stature on the two sides. You see the experience. If you ever get the chance to hop on, the websites like Transfer Market, SofaScore, it gives you where these players used to play. It gives you the clubs and the countries they've played in. But there's a vast experience between the two sides. Outside of
great ball in from Chris. Sorry, cut you off there. Alec Yurseski back on the ball. Always done well there, unlucky. Rankin clears with ease. This is better from Mount Druitt, Abs. Not trying to rush it.
No, it's composed.
Trying to settle in. They're trying to grow themselves into the game.
Yeah.
A lot better from Mount Druitt. Positive signs. Ooh, unlucky.
Yeah.
Just commentator's curse.
Look, back on Mount Druitt's ball. Yes. They're going to have to look to Joseph Gibbs. They're going to have to look to Pedrinho. There we go. We're through.
Beautiful ball. Mudi Naji. Great ball in.
He's taken a heavy touch.
His touch cost him there.
Don't think that touch was necessary.
Still on though, however, from Alec Yurosevsky. Does well. Beautifully worked here from Rockdale. Yurosevsky saves again. Tef clears. And we're here with Pedrinho.
That's some great piece of intricate football there. That's a foul.
Oh, that is a foul there.
Could
be a cynical foul there. Absy is reaching for his pocket, and it is a yellow card. Abs, can you tell me who that is, please? I'll tell you what, I need glasses at this point.
That's, I believe that's number 5 from what I can see here.
When he decides to turn around?
Yes, we're looking at Giorgio Speranza.
Speranza, Marconi player, Abdul.
Yes.
Yeah, Giorgio Speranza.
Look, back on our point, Matt Druitt, as they do get back on the ball, you look at Pedrinho. Pedrinho, him and Joey Gibbs are the two players that they look to.
Yeah, correct.
Pedrinho's played in Brazil.
He's
played
a wonderful player.
He's played in Malta.
I believe he's a Fluminense youth player?
Flamengo.
Flamengo, my apologies.
Yeah. So, with the experience that he brings to this side, look, unfortunately the results haven't gone their way this year, but
correct.
We've seen moments where he's been able to step up. I think it's hard being his style of player in a team that's, without the ball so much.
It's a dying breed, that number 10, Abs. It's a dying breed, especially that classical one that likes to roam out of position, and sometimes he doesn't do that defensive work, but on the ball you can't question the talent.
Look, it's gone are the days where you could have... There we go.
Beautiful ball here from Udinese. Chocolan. Niski claims again.
But, gone are the days of having that 10.
Yeah.
Where in the sense of you could be a struggling side and have an attacking midfielder in there, and they're still able to get their output out. That's gone. It's more nowadays, if you don't have that work rate, if you don't have that running back in a side that's not necessarily possession heavy, it's, it doesn't help the player. And you can see it in the way he's played. He's had to change the way he's played. He's had to change the style of play that he's brought from Brazil and Poland and Malta to be more of a hard-working midfielder. And, Joey Gibbs he scored the first goal of the season for Mount Druitt against the Wanderers. Scored I believe it was the equaliser.
He comes back next week, I believe. Yes.
Yeah, and we go back it's not easy.
Oh,
it's not easy.
not the best there from Sampron, and here we go, Alec Jurasevski.
No, just wide. But I believe the keeper got a hand to that one.
He couldn't deliver the goods there, Abdul. Could be a foul there from William Rankin. It is. And Rockdale have a free kick in a dangerous position here.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, it's on Rockdale as well. It's rare to see a side that, has so much talent, yet is so, not so much goal dependent, but it works with Jurasevski. It just works. And to score 20 goals in 18 games and the next best being 7 goals behind you is insane, and it's only credit to him.
Absolutely.
He's had the opportunities, he's had the chances to play abroad, to play in high levels, but he's chosen to stay with Rockdale.
As he should. Hopefully he can get on the end of this corner from Chris McStay. And we await his delivery. Delivers the ball. Really good corner. Oh. I believe that came off number 99, Matthew Komosevsky. The Hypervenomabs, I'll tell you, they get in dangerous positions.
Yeah, no, they do. But, also, if you didn't know, Alex Jurasevski has a bakery.
Does he?
Yes.
Does he, Abdul?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Alexander's Bakery. But the burek there is really, really nice.
Oh, Abdul, we're going to have to correct you there. It's called Burak, my friend. It's not. It's called Burek, sorry.
Tomato.
Oh, careful.
Tomato.
Foul there from Rockdale. Yeah, Abdul, I'm encouraged by this Mount Druitt constant effort to play out from the back. They're not looking here aiming it forward aimlessly. They're looking here to play with the ball, get players involved, maybe work themselves into the game.
Yeah.
And hopefully they can work with that. Unlucky Garang.
Yeah, look, it's we've seen it multiple times, and it's not just with NPL sides, but sides even at the highest level in the UK where, all right, you might be struggling, you might be, not winning games, but you got to stick to how you want to play.
Yeah,
you got to be able to get used to it, because when things go right, you'll remember these days where you weren't winning games and you were working on it, and in 5-6 years' time, your side only benefits from it. So,
corner conceded here by Mount Druitt. And Rockdale, I believe this is their 6th or 7th corner in the game, Abdul.
No.
Still awaiting a Mount Druitt one, Abdul.
Oh, look, it's put it this way, might be a long wait. The way the game's going is
corner is being taken. Matthew gets his head on it again, and he
That's
does score.
That's a goal for Rockdale, Thomas.
From Matthew Komosevsky.
And he goes to celebrate in front of the Rockdale Ultras there.
Abdul, I think you cursed Mount Druitt there. It was a matter of time. It was a beautiful delivery from number 24 for Rockdale, Ali Ogla. Did I pronounce that right, Abdul?
Ogla. It depends how much you want to. It's just like say Burek or Burek. It's
tomato.
Yeah, but that is a wonderful goal. It's a wonderful header, and I think the way it bounced, it caught the keeper off guard.
It did, unfortunately. He's been excellent. The number 1 for Mount Druitt, Niski. But the second tallest player on the pitch, Abdul, Matthew Komosevsky, number 99 for Rockdale, on the bench last week, comes in and gets the start and gets his goal for Rockdale. 1-0 to Rockdale Ilinden.
Even last week, he's come on, I believe, because there was that second yellow card last week. It's they scored early, got the second yellow card, and still managed to win against Marconi, and that says something. Oh, here we go.
Matthew again on the ball. Unlucky. We resume here with Pedrino. Beautiful ball to the keeper, Nick Suarez. Sorry, from the commentator's box, the trajectory of that ball from Pedrino looked a bit different.
What do you reckon of Paul D's time at Rockdale? How do you think he's gone this season about the way they play, and compared to the way Rockdale went about business last year?
Yeah.
What's been the difference?
No, Abdul, I think obviously, and he's had a brilliant impact, and none more special than that result against Marconi last week. I think that's really encapsulated what he can prevent.
Oh, here we go. They're through.
Number 20 here for Mount Druitt. Plays to John Azar. Great block here. William Rankin? No. Here's William. Back to Gurang a walk. Unlucky there from Gurang. Uses his strength well. Mount Druitt still in the attack here. Delivers a ball in. Baklush Rukuto well cleared. Mount Druitt. Unlucky there. And Rockdale should be able to get this comfortably. And they do break here, Abdul, with Mudinaji. It's a 3v3. What can they do? Tef uses his body. He does it well. Still on the ball. Alex Yusevsky delivered well in.
Oh.
Dilaniski
Now,
gets a touch on it.
we have to ask, was that a cross or a pass? Cross or a shot, sorry.
I think we'll ask the baker tomorrow morning. Abdul.
Look, Moody Najjar done the right thing there.
Did really well.
I think he took his time and he had to assess the options. Yes, you could have said, could have gone past the player, could have played it earlier, but I think he's made the right decision. Ball might be coming your way, Thomas. Well, that's a great header by
the post, by the fence rail.
It's look, it's still 1-0. I think Mount Druitt are slowly eating into this game.
Yeah.
But I like the way Rockdale they're composed now. They've scored. They're sitting in their positions.
They've settled into the game.
And they've settled into the game. And it's going to be a tough ask for Mount Druitt from here.
Will be.
You know.
William Rankin here, driving into that midfield. Plays a decent ball into Pedrino. Got some space.
Hit it.
Rockdale giving him some space. Does shoot. Just over the bar. Abdul, do you reckon that was the right decision from Rockdale to sit off there?
Look, I think that they'll work themselves back into the game. You know, like we've said before, Mount Druitt are players that can cause danger for Rockdale, and they know that. And you've seen it there with Pedrinho. Give him the right angle, the right shot, give him the time, and he'll punish you. You don't play in Poland, you don't play in Malta and Brazil for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, correct.
You know, it's one of those ones.
Beautiful ball from Chris McStay to break the line. Chris McStay with the ball. Here's a Lockie Constable. He's just come off shift from the police force. Here he is. Chocolan. Oh, he does well there. Does really well. Mudinaji. Just goes wide.
Moody Najjar could have scored
Moody
there.
Najjar.
Yes.
Mudinaji.
I think that's worse than Burek.
It's a tomato, mate. Question, Abdul. I think we should end the debate. I think UBF are in a privileged position here to end the debate. Abdul, your thoughts? Is it tomato, a fruit, or a vegetable? Bear in mind, this could end our future commentating role, Abdul, so when you're ready.
You know what? You know, my favourite thing to do is sit on a fence.
We'll put it to our fans. We'll put a poll on the story.
It's classified as a fruit, but can only be eaten with vegetables. And I'll leave it there.
Leave it there.
There we go.
Oh,
That
there's a
foul.
push there, clear as day.
Free kick to Rockdale.
I believe the Bulldogs played today, Abdul. Is that...
Yes. That is the least of my worries at the moment. As much as I love the good old Canterbury Bankstown Club, we're here to watch Rockdale play Mount Druitt, Thomas. You know that very well. Look, I think Mount Druitt is slowly going to go back into this game. Give them one chance, and I will say, if they do score before half-time, I think there's every chance.
Correct. Well, Abdul, we've seen there with William Rankin breaking through that midfield line, driving past the defensive line there of Rockdale. I think that was a really good way, possibly a clue for the Mount Druitt coaching staff, and a way to break, because they set off Pedrinho, and with a play with that talent, he can definitely pick a pocket and find that top right-hand corner.
Yeah. Look, and when you look at last week...
Beautiful ball.
Here we go.
Beautiful ball there. Moody Najjar? Was it Najjar?
Najjar.
Moody Najjar.
So, you know, yourself, you come from a Croatian background. I come from a Lebanese background. You know, we have our troubles, you know, pronouncing some names, and we're learning to pronounce. So we apologise in advance to anyone listening that might potentially take offence to any pronunciation.
Tell you what, Lockie Constable won't. You can't mess that one up.
No, I will say, though, he's a great player, and another fact with him, former Wanderers Academy player as well.
You see, there's a lot of former Wanderers Academy boys.
There's a lot of former Wanderers Academy players.
Yeah. With Alec Yusevsky here.
There we go.
The overlap there. Beautiful ball in. Tef gets his head on it. And possibly, no, still in.
Look, I've said it before. I'll
throwing.
say it again. I genuinely think Tef could be one of those players. Could be one of those players.
Are you saying they might get picked up for next year, Abdul?
Yeah, it could be anything. He's got a bright future ahead of
Does.
him, and just the way he's built and he plays and the way he holds himself, he's still fairly young himself.
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
So there we go.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Abdul. Is that Alec Youssefsky taking a throw as well?
He's
It
not
is.
just a footballer. He's not just a
Chris
that's
McStay!
a great shot.
He's been everywhere, Chris McStay. He has been everywhere. And here we are with John Azar from Mount Druitt. Choose to settle it. Lachlan Vasuli with a decent ball. He's flagged offside, unfortunately. Fortunately there for Mount Druitt Rangers. What do you think of Chris McStay? Traditionally he plays in defence, but we can see, maybe you could say the modern fullback abs, how high he's getting in. He's getting involved with the play.
Yeah, I think when it comes to, like you said, the modern fullback, you've got to be able to do everything. You've got to be able to attack, you've got to be able to invert, you've got to be able to overlap. And he's the perfect example of that. And you see him on the ball now, he's pushing forward. But it's that vision. Look at him. It's the way he's been able to scan on the field
Constantly.
as well. He's constantly scanning on and off the ball, make a movement. And it's helping Rockdale because you're able to basically not necessarily walk through a team, but play your pass, be composed, and be able to beat them in numbers. And if you do lose the ball, the numbers are there because everyone's in position.
Not the best all here from Lachlan Vasuli. Coughs up possession. And the pressure here from Rockdale Abs is constant and it's paying off here. Chris McStay got a little bit excited there.
I think that was a foul throw potentially.
I think he took about 16 steps, or was it 6? I don't know. And we'll resume play with Chris when he's ready.
Yeah, look, another thing with Rockdale. Last week's probably the first time in a long time they'd only scored one goal.
Yeah.
They rarely ever only score one goal. And I believe in the last... Oh, there's the ball. Almost hit our cameraman.
Evan's safe, don't worry.
Look, when it comes to Rockdale especially, ever since they've gone on that winning run, they've only had 2 games where they've only scored the 1 goal.
Yep.
They had a 1-1 draw against Manly United, and then they had the 1-0 win obviously last week. Otherwise, they scored multiple goals a game, and honestly, it's astonishing to see a side that has been regularly, even last season, scoring goal after goal after goal. Obviously, having a commodity up front like Alec Youssefsky, helps you, but it's the consistency, and there's a lot of...
Matthew's done well there from the back.
There's a lot of clubs in the
Laces
NPL
here,
that fight for that.
Mudinaji chooses to recycle. Sorry, I have to cut you off there.
Yeah, it's just Rockdale's consistency. It's on another level, and
It is.
there's a few sides in this competition that can hold their head up high and turn around and say the same thing. But it's a credit to them. It's a credit to the manager as well, who's been able to train the side the way he has.
Paul's done a wonderful job.
Yeah,
He
he
has.
has. Some would say he's done a divine job.
Thank you, Abdul.
as a
Went there.
manager of Rockdale.
Thank you, Abdul. Tef.
Oh, Youssefsky almost got to that one.
Was that until West Botany Road or Bay Road?
He hasn't left the field yet.
Well pressed there from Mount Druitt, and they earn themselves a free kick in their half. Well played by Mount Druitt.
Now drew it through. He's taking his time.
On the counter, delivered to John Azar. Rockdale are getting numbers back. Credit to them. I believe that was Mudi Najjar, sorry, my apologies.
Jar.
Who tracked back. Looked dangerous, Abdul.
Mate, the Syrian and the Lebanese community,
They'll be in touch.
they'll be in touch, brother. I have some questions on the pronunciation of the last name. Najjar.
My apologies,
Najjar.
Abdul. My apologies. Tef here. Oh, not the best ball. Rockdale could look to break. They do with a 1v1. Ref played the advantage. Wasn't given. Foul on Charlo Khan. Just settle into the game now. Abs about 30 minutes, I believe, has passed.
Yeah.
And we're here with Lockie Constable. To Chris McStay. Just heard the coach, to McStay, to instruct it.
There you go, they're on the
Play
break.
with one pass.
He had to play that in behind. He had to play that in behind. The run was on. There you go.
Number 10 from Mount Druitt, Pedrino, chooses to sit a bit deeper. Maybe wants to be an orchestrator, abs constructor.
Go.
Beautiful ball. Here's to John Azar. Can he go 1v1 here against McStay? Plays Vasuli. Decent ball. Good little bit of possession here for Abs from Mount Druitt.
Yeah, it has been. And look, like I said, they're growing into the game.
Pedrino. Decent looking ball.
It's a great ball. He does get onto that. They back out.
Plays
for
John
the side.
Azar.
It's in the box. There's a good chance there.
Oh, just wide. Abs, I really like that from Mount Druitt. We saw the number 10 there from Mount Druitt. Dropping a bit deeper, Pedrinho. Maybe being that conductor, that orchestrator, setting the place, setting the tempo right.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're really impressed by that. Sam Powell, calm and composed on the ball. Released John Azar. Azar with a dangerous ball in the box. And unlucky there.
Yeah. While Rockdale's building out the back. So, Tom, we're used to, our abode out at Moorebank. Out at the Lightweight Athletics Studios, filming our podcast week to week. How have we found it up here in the commentary box?
We have. Done a brilliant defender there from Sam Powell.
Yeah.
Yeah, Abdul, it's a nice. Might need some sunglasses soon in about 5 minutes. Making it difficult to read the players. But no, it's wonderful hospitality from Rockdale. We were greeted here by some lovely Macedonian music, Abdul. I got a kavapi roll, they call it. We call it chavapi roll. It's a bit different.
Kebapi.
Kavapi. I call it chavapi, Abdul, but it's the same. Alex Useski on the right side and on the left side does take the throws. I believe he has the giant throwing plus, Abdul, on FC 25. Is that?
Yeah, FC 25.
Yeah, FC. Has that throwing plus?
Yeah, I
PlayStation
think
plus.
it's throwing plus. He's probably got finesse plus as well, and bruiser.
A bruiser.
Say bruiser.
Oh.
Honestly, though, it's you don't see many players like Krzyzewski anymore. Where
In NPL.
in football in Australia in general, the way he's able to drift from left to right to centre, the way he's able to get past players, the way he's able to deliver a ball as well as scoring them. And again, 20 goals in 18 games is a massive feat. But you don't see that anymore.
No, you don't.
He's amazing at what he does, and the fact that I think he's 32 now as well.
It's incredible. It's incredible. Not the best clearance there from Matthew. Tef gets his head on it. And unlucky there. Goal kick to Rockdale Ilinden.
There was a call for potentially another corner, but the referee denies that. He thinks otherwise.
What do you think of the referee's performance so far, Abdul?
He's called it down the middle. He's definitely called it down the middle, and he's stopped it when he's needs to stop it. He's given cards when he's needs to give cards, and it's been a great performance by the young man in the middle.
Abdul,
Lion run, Thomas. We were just waiting. Just for the silence. We were just waiting to this announcement. There's a lion run, as they usually do every week here at Rockdale.
any inclination, Abdul, of what a lion run might be?
There's a guy dressed in a lion suit, and he's chased around by a bunch of kids. That's what a lion run is. And if you're
Wouldn't that be the other way around, Abdul? The lion chasing the humans? No.
We do things differently here at Rockdale.
Oh, they do. My apologies.
Yes. It's for the kids. They come in, and look, that's the whole thing with the NPL here. It's you go to each different club, you get a different atmosphere, you get a different exposure to culture, and over here it's very much family friendly.
With Chris McStay driving up forward, mid in a jar, does well keep it in, and Sam Powell does concede the corner. Another corner here for Rockdale Ilinden.
There we go. I think we're getting close to half-time as well, and to be honest, if they get a second, I'm not going to say shut the gates, but it's going to be a very tough ask. Very, very tough ask.
The goal scorer is coming forward here for Rockdale. Number 99, Matthew Komosevsky. He's going to start his run late outside the box and will be making his way, challenging tallest man on the pitch. Yeah. Number 5 for Mount Druitt Rangers.
Look, Caleb Jackson Brown's trying to mark him at the moment. He's got on the big don't argue.
Oh, well defended there by Mount Druitt. Threat is not over yet, though. Beautifully delivered in.
That was the keepers all day.
Oh, could be a card there, Abdul. Silly there.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's already on a yellow.
No, he's not, Abdul. He's already on a goal, though, but he will be receiving his first yellow. Referee's done a brilliant job there. Just settling the tempo.
Yeah, that was silly.
Abdul, I don't think there's a traditional rivalry between Rockdale and Mount Druitt Rangers.
No, listen, they're separated by, I believe, the M4, the M5, and the M7, so it's going to be very hard to explain that.
Just missing the M2.
Yeah, we could call it the motorway derby.
Oh, there we go.
But I'll tell you this: that was a silly foul. I think from the Rockdale, the defender, it's not.
Komosevsky's going over there to receive the yellow card. Matthew, anytime, mate. The club is waiting on the barbecue for the fans.
You can see over there, the fans are waiting in the stands, and they've already left their seats to line up to get the kebapi.
Abdul, do you put onions on yours, Abdul, or they call it kapula?
Look, when I do get around to eating kebapi, Yes, I do put some onion.
Good man.
Tried it with Ivar yesterday.
Ooh. I thought you're a cultured person.
I'm very cultured.
I'm proud of you. Well done.
I
How did
enjoy.
Ivar taste, Abdul?
It's not too bad. I enjoy sauce on my food, unlike
Good man.
some other people.
No comment.
Yeah. And if you've seen any of our videos, you'll see that Thomas, not the biggest fan of sauce on his food, and it's concerns me sometimes.
I think that's a brilliant segue into the game resuming, Abdul. Ooh, pushing the back there. Refs played it on.
Played it on. Tef's trying to get back into defence there. There we go.
We are with Alec Jurasevski. He's done well. Bilan Vasuli. Ooh, slid in there. And he does give the free kick.
The Baker's not very happy.
Rightfully so, Abdul. Wasn't the best first touch there from the 20-goal man this year.
What do you reckon's better, his goal scoring ability or his Burex out at
Again, Burek.
Alexander's Bakery?
Abdul, listen, please don't cancel me for New South Wales, but I actually have not tried one of the great man's Burex. Possible foul there from Chris McStay. Not given. Could be no. John Azar is okay. The referee deems it.
Look, he's holding his head. I think the referee's checking. Generally, I believe the rule is any head injury, he does have to stop it. Which
For a head IA, yes.
He might have to.
Referee's just looking over at John Azar. He looks okay to play. Chris McStay looks to play.
There we go.
Alec Jurasevski. Ooh, that bounce might help Rockdale. They do get the ball back. For a moment, commentators curse once again.
Hey.
Rock.
Oh, that looks like a clash of shins right there.
Nasty 50-50 there, Abs.
Yeah. But I do believe it will be the Rockdale man that does receive the yellow card for that.
Abdul, that's 3 yellow cards for Rockdale.
Look, they do need to stay composed. Mount Druitt they're dragging them into.
Yep.
They're dragging them to the fight in midfield. They're dragging them to a battle in midfield, a physical battle.
Yep.
And whenever you do that with a team like Rockdale, you are likely to get to a point where you're going to get frustrated because you've had about 10 opportunities on goal and you've only scored the one. And when a team like Mount Druitt, who it's not too dumb to say when you're playing a team like Mount Druitt and you see the disparity on the ladder, you see the disparity on where you both sit. It's hard not to come to a game and kind of put yourself in second gear. It's one of those ones, and this is what ends up happening because you come in thinking one thing and eventually having to deal with another, and you see the frustrations from the Baker, you see the frustrations from Brendan Sholakan as well in midfield.
Received the yellow card.
Received the yellow card there, and
I think the break's going to serve Rockdale well. We resume with Sam Powell looking to deliver a ball in. He does deliver a ball in. Nick Suarez, safe hands.
I just want to touch on Lachlan Vasilou as well, the youngster, number 39,
Yep.
from Mount Druitt Town Rangers.
Yep.
I believe he debuted at his debut goal against the Wanderers a few weeks ago.
Great ball there from Kelsevsky, number 99, from the back. Looking to release Rockdale. Niski, safe hands. Sorry, Abel.
He had his debut goal against the Wanderers a few weeks ago, and I'm not going to apologise for that one, Thomas. But when it comes to how exciting of a youngster he is, I'm keen to see the youngsters that are coming to this league.
Absolutely.
He's one of them. He's got that pace. He's got that energy. He's got that ability to put in the hard yards
Workhorse.
and do the hard work. And he's a workhorse. And the goal that he scored the other week was an absolute, it was an absolute banger, some would say.
Yep.
It was beautiful to see a youngster take his chances and stamp his name, and now he's starting in the team. And it's credit to the gaffer as well for giving these youngsters a go. Yep. You get to a point in the season, and we've watched football for a long time, and we've seen our teams go from strength to strength, and then have times where they're not doing too well. You want to see your youngsters be bled in these moments.
Rockdale done really, really well here. Ooh, possible foul. Referee calls play on. Resume here with John Azar. Not the best ball out. Not the best ball in.
Ball back out either.
And here we go with Chris McStay looking to have a pop. Goal.
That is a goal.
Beautiful goal there from Chris McStay. Took a slight deflection, and Abdul came at a perfect time there for Rockdale. They take a 2-0 goal lead into half-time, and he goes over with the ball kids, with the Ultras, looking to celebrate. Abdul, thoughts on the goal?
That was a beautiful goal. Look, took an unlucky deflection on the way in, but the strike was low and hard.
Yep.
And in that range, that's what you want to do because, there's legs everywhere. It's going to go anywhere. And the keeper, again, not speaking from a professional opinion, but, once it starts hitting legs,
They're the
you
hardest to
commit it
defend.
to one side. It's hard. And as we can see now, Mount Druitt's back in their formation and Rockdale's coming through. And you can see their heads starting to drop. And it's a shame because Mount Druitt have worked hard this first half, but quality is quality. Some would say 1 goal for Rockdale. What was it? 1 step for Rockdale. 1 bigger step for Scotland for McStay. So it's.
I'm sure Chris will be in touch with us after. But just on those strike caps, clean, pure, with the laces. Chris wanted the power, got the power, and it resulted in a goal. Well done to Rockdale. Well done to the number 88 from Rockdale City Suns, Chris McStay. And Rockdale looking to hit it again. That's a foul.
That will be a card, I believe. Very surprised.
Very surprised that wasn't a card there, Abdul. I'll agree with you. That was 2 hands in the back.
It was intentional. Look, it's a tactical foul. At the end of the day, I believe that was Euro. That was the Baker that got fouled there. And if you've given Alek Kurzewski that much space, they let him take the shot. And, 8 times out of 10, it's probably going to go in.
Abdul, I've got a feeling here we're going to see Chris McStay looking to have another hit, Abdul. He's going to go for goal, and we'll see what he can deliver. Abdul, I dare to say, if this might be 3-0, this could be dark times ahead for Mount Druitt Rangers and a very difficult mountain to climb in the second 45.
Let me remind you of a fixture probably about a couple of months ago. Rockdale Ilinden played the Western Sydney Wanderers.
They did.
Finished 8-1. So they will punish a side that will not take their chances.
And we're here with Chris
Ogla.
McStay.
Oh.
Hits it.
Oh.
And it is
Just
a corner.
wide.
It
Just
is a
wide.
corner.
Yeah, look, they're a team that's not afraid to take their chances. Yeah. You give it to them, they'll take it.
I believe Ali Ogla did
Ogla.
The number 24 for Rockdale did wonderfully there to lay it off to Chris McStay. Similar technique, which found the back of the net just a couple of minutes ago, results in a corner kick here for Rockdale. Delivery into the box again. Decent ball in. Tef does clear it.
Ooh.
And that one's on West Botany Road, I can confirm.
I think it's just hit a plane at the airport. No.
International or domestic?
Domestic. Flight 16712.
No,
I'm joking. But yeah, look, it's we've seen it multiple times this year. Like I said, 8-1, you give them the chances they're going to take.
Yeah.
They're definitely one of those sides. And when you look at Mount Druitt, they've got to keep their head up. At this current moment, it's if they start dropping their heads and more goals start to creep in, it could be anything. Could be 7, could be 8, and you don't want that. Okay.
Abdul, I believe here that Rockdale are hungry. They've got the best goal difference in the league prior to this match with a goal difference of positive 26, and I believe they're hungry here. They're really, really hungry to extend that, and I believe Mount Druitt are begging for this break.
No, also he's hungry, Thomas. I believe you and I might get a kebapi roll at half time.
Will the Rockdale City canteen be nice enough to shout the United by Football Boys a couple of kebapi rolls up?
Thomas, just get your card out and pay for it, mate.
Okay, mate,
Support our local.
Here we go. Wonderfully worked here.
Oh, that's 3. That is 3 for Rockdale. And honestly, a beautiful shot taken by Moody Najjar. That was a beautiful, wonderfully worked, as you said there. And, he goes in, he cuffs the ears in front of the fans, and that sums up a great half for Rockdale. We've watched the whole half in that half there, and Moody, the Syrian international, has made them pay for it.
Although I dare say all 4 players were involved there. The Baker, Chalokan, it was incredibly worked. And Najee, I think, luckily for Lachlan Vasuli, I believe he's still sliding back to Mount Druitt. That's unfortunate there. And Moody has done a wonderfully worked well. Bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah.
And Abdul, I dare say this might be shot-over shot.
Yeah, I think come out in the second half, compose yourself, enjoy your football, but at the same time remember that, 3-0 is nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, well taken by Moody Najjar, and I saw it. He faked it. He even sent me the other way.
To Mount Druitt, or?
Probably towards, I don't know what that way is. Bexley?
Mate, we'll get the compass out. Mount Druitt, however, are looking to spring off kick-off with Garang. Decently worked.
That's some great movement there.
Garang, we'll see what he can do. Pedrino plays there. No foul given by the referee. Rockdale looking to break forward. The Baker's off.
He is offside.
And he's offside, unfortunately.
The Baker is off. Never heard that before. The bakers have days off.
So is the temperature off or the amount of flour off?
No, the baker himself is off.
The baker is
yeah,
off.
yeah, had to have a day off. Sorry, no fresh bread this morning, guys.
You know what I have to ask him, Abdul? Does he work on game day?
I'm sure he's got staff.
Yeah, no, Abdul. I don't doubt that, but I'm saying, does he come in at 5 a.m., get the dough ready?
Look, if he does, that's commitment, mate. Oh, here we go. That is a great ball through.
Careful there.
Back.
Beautifully defended there by number 9 for Rockdale City Suns.
Vasily with the throw in. Looking for a teammate.
The heads have dropped here for Mount Druitt. Finally, someone off the ball moving. Chris McStay just going to see this out for a goal kick, and he does. Quite experienced there from Chris. Stabs used his body well. And we'll resume with a couple of minutes left with Nick Suarez.
Looking to play out again.
Wonderfully worked here.
Look, I will say this. I believe that's Lachlan Constable in the 6. Correct me if I'm wrong.
The number 11 there for Rockdale.
Yeah, and he's been an absolute stall in that midfield. He's been sitting at the base, passing the ball out, and he's been setting them on attacks. Like, you know, as a defender yourself, Thomas, you dream to play with a 6 like that.
Correct.
It's honestly, it's such a good thing to see, and there we go.
And it is halftime on the proceedings here at Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre. Abs, quickly, what was your thoughts on that half?
Well, it is 3-0 to Rockdale Ilinden, and it's a tough ask for Mount Druitt, and we said that from the start. And that's not to say they've had a bad game. They've actually played really well, and they've played with a lot of heart. But when you've got quality like Rockdale do, it's almost impossible to stop. And you know, we've been able to see it, 3 quality goals, and, you know, they've had a great team performance. I can't pinpoint one Rockdale player that's stood out above the rest. They've all been equally as good, and, you know, come the second half, if they keep it up, it could be 6, could be 7.
It is, I agree with you. Football New South Wales fans look forward to a halftime entertainment show of a lion run. Unfortunately, there'll be no commentary there from the United by Football Boys, but we look forward to joining you back in about 15 minutes to resume proceedings here at Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre. Thank you very much.
before we start. Jules. All right, I'll kick us off. All right, we're just about to kick off the second half. Tom, how's your halftime break?
Good, mate. That was the line. Surprise. The line was incredible.
Is that why you're huffing and puffing?
Unfortunately, yes, Abdul. But yeah, Abdul, really excited for this second 45 with Rockdale kicking us off. And Abdul, I'm not here to predict or anything. I'm not a fortune teller. But I predict a little bit more of the same that we saw in the first half.
Yeah, 100%. And we can already see it down the right side. The Baker's making the run into the box. I believe that's Najjar. Ooh, could be on for...
Not the best clearance there. Sam Powell.
I think that's a corner. I think that's Rockdale's 10th million corner of the game.
That was 11, to be honest.
But yeah, look, they've clearly dominated possession, and I think when it comes to the way they've been playing, you're going to get that all game. We're probably not going to see another 10, 15 corners this second half.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially once Mount Druitt start to fatigue.
Ali Ugla, ready to commence proceedings here. Beautiful ball in. Oh, I believe Tem got his head to it.
Almost had an Olympico there. Seen a few of them this season between the NPL men's and NPL women's, and even in the A-League we've seen a few there. It's maybe change it from the Olympico to the Australico or something. Scoring more of them than the Origin.
I believe we are. Abdul and Chris McStay is going to try and replicate the same thing on the opposite side. Just awaiting Chris's delivery here. Beautiful delivery in. Ooh! Good save there from Miski.
That charging run at the back end of the box was immense. And had he gotten anything that was going into the back of the net.
It was. I believe that's 3 corners in a row here.
Yeah, I think it's Ali Ogler on it again. He's been taking them all game, so and then they've been scoring off him, to be honest.
They have.
But just look at the way they've set up outside the box as well. You know, anything that comes back out is going back in.
This might be Lockie Constable's ball here. It is.
Oh.
Chris has done well. The man can do it all, Abdul. He's centre back as well, Alek Yusevsky.
Played it through. There's a Chakalan. Oh, right
unlucky.
above. I believe that's going over for a goal kick.
Again, Abdul, I believe our eyes have deceived us here. The trajectory of the ball looked a lot different here from an elevated level. It's a throw in here for Mount Druitt Rangers. And Abdul, in the first couple of minutes, can you see a similar sort of tale to that first half?
Yeah, 100%. It's Lockie Constable. That's not a foul.
Oh, he's done wonderful.
Turned it around. That's great work by the Mount Druitt midfielder.
Pedrinho delivers a decent looking ball.
It's all the keepers.
And it is Mount Druitt's ball.
Look, and you can clearly see a pattern in the way that Rockdale play. You know, they want to win that second ball.
I do.
And
They're just hungry.
100%. And, you and I have been fortunate enough to be able to watch football for as long as we have. And we've seen different managers be able to emphasize on that. And I'll be honest, the one I kind of learned and understood the most was Mikel Arteta.
Yep.
You know, watching those documentaries and watching, the behind the scenes and the way he's able to explain the importance. Here we go. That's going to go up for a goal. That's a foul to Rockdale.
No need to slide in there.
Yeah, it's silly fouls there. But, yeah, back on the point, it's such a commodity for a side to have.
It is.
You know, being able to win that second ball, being able to, even if the team wins it the first time, they know they still got to go through it again to win it. And that's kind of Rockdale's motto. You know, you look at the way they play out, and then when they lose the ball, there's 2-3 players on you already.
Shut away, ready to go.
Yeah, and then that's due to their positioning as well. You know, as we talked about McStay in the first half, basically playing everywhere inside that box here on the side. And it's all for, Rockdale have done well in setting up, and both sides as well. You know, you've got, a defence that's been able to play a high line, being able to come inside and be good on the ball, and it's very hard for teams to contain that.
Wonderfully worked here with Isaac Danzo to the Baker. Alek Yusevsky does shoot.
Oh, just wide.
That was brilliant work by Isaac Danzo there.
Right.
Brilliant work. Found that little pocket of space free. Just about 20 yards out of the box. Delivers a brilliant ball. It's Alek Yusevsky. And if he had his time again, I believe he would put that into the bottom left-hand corner.
100%. And it's only a matter of time.
I believe it is.
It's only a matter of time.
Yet to get on the score sheet today, the Baker.
Yes.
Do you reckon he makes it 21 in 19 league appearances?
Look, you know, like I said, I'm no genie. I'm no. I can't see the future. But if the precedent was to be anything, yeah, probably. You know, there's very few games this season where he's blanked. And you know, to have a goal scoring record the way he does, that's more than a goal a game. That's insane.
It is.
And I believe he's on 165 goals for Rockdale Ilinden as well, in terms of,
Wow.
So
That is the definition of build the man a statue. I don't know what is.
yeah, and he pretty much passed his 250 games this year for Rockdale as well. It was a milestone for him, and if you think about it, 165 goals in 250 odd games is 2 goals every 3 games. And any striker to have that record would absolutely kill for
proud
him.
of it.
Yeah. There we go.
Good pressure there from Mount Druitt. Sam Powell had his hands all over him. Does well.
Looks like a free kick to Rockdale. I believe that's Garang that's just caught him.
Blake
Ooh.
Kuto, I believe.
Yes. It does look like he's in a bit of pain at the moment.
Yeah, just an awkward clash there, Abs.
Yeah.
Just an awkward clash there. Just back onto this first 5 minutes here while Blake Rakuto does receive some treatment.
Yeah.
What do you think of those first 5 minutes that we've seen so far? A lot of the same from the first half?
Yeah. Same but different, effectively, if I'm going to kind of put it in that way. Same intensity, same way of playing, about the same. The only difference is they're playing on the other side of the field. Yeah. And, you know, just a bit on Blake Rakuto as well. Do you know he's fluent in both English and Spanish?
He looks like a man that that could possibly learn many languages.
Yeah, he's Uruguayan and Italian heritage, has been able to teach him both languages. And he also played for Tanjong Pagar United in 2023 in the Singaporean Premier League.
Just about to say, that's a Singaporean club, I was just about to say.
There you go. But, yeah, look, like I said before, it's this is a side full of experience. You know, it's...
Been there, done that.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, you look at versatility as well, and I see the biggest asset they've got in this side is being versatile. You know, you look at players like Lockie Constable, being able to play anywhere in midfield, could probably slip back into defence if need be. You know, players like McStay. McStay is able to drift into midfield. He's able to cover for players when they go forward like this.
I think Chris is... Obviously, Moody will get a lot of the plaudits. Chocolan will get a lot of the plaudits, but for me, Chris McStay, number 88 there, Scotland International, I think has been, if not, one of the best players on the pitch today.
Yeah, 100%.
He's been involved in absolutely everything.
There you go, bit of trickery.
Wants to name himself on today's proceedings. Unlucky there. Does well.
I believe that was the goal scorer. It was Moody Naja.
Was it?
Yeah, he's showing us what he's got in his locker. No, but, you know, even in attack, here we go. Whether that's Lockie Constable on the ball.
Oh, not the best ball.
No.
Mount Druitt looked to break with a 3v2. Garang.
Locks on the ball. That's great work.
Rakuto's done well.
It's great work.
Abs, just keep an eye on for me for Blake Rakuto. Lean to be maybe compensating on that right leg, Abs.
Yeah, he's still trying to get the feel back into it. It was a tough clash. But he's moving now. He's moving a bit more freely. Well,
yeah, just keep an eye on him. With 10, once Ali decides to move out of the way, we can resume proceedings here.
There we go.
Yeah, Abs, I think what I've just seen there sort of sums up what we've just spoken about, where there was 2 Rockdale defenders on one Mount Druitt United player.
Yeah.
And the second ball, uncontested from Mount Druitt. And if they want to get into this game and reduce that deficit, I think they're going to need to improve the statistics of those second balls won, because it's not looking positive.
Yeah. Look, it's there we go. Might be through. Look, at the end of the day, it's 3-0. You know, and apologies, we don't have a scoreboard right in front of us. It's sitting right above us, unfortunately. So I think we're about 10 to 15 minutes into the second half. Mount Druitt, they know they're not going to necessarily come out winners on top here. And anything could happen. I'm not ruling that out. But you can see that they're not giving up. And, you know, like we said, credit to the gaffer. It's hard for a side in their position on the table, you know, coming up against opponents like this to keep it going. Here we go. The Baker's on. The Baker's on. Oh, that was a great clearance.
Well done by the big man. TM.
I think the Baker wants a quick one. Express delivery. The gamesmanship there.
Click and collect from Alex Ruseski there. Decides to walk away.
Same day delivery.
We are awaiting the beautiful left foot of Chris McStay.
Right. Might have to order a McStay on the way home. McDonald's later today. the performance that he's going with. Here we go. McStay on the corner.
Beautiful ball
Ripped
in.
it in. Oh,
Ooh,
great
I'll tell you
save.
what, he's done that 2 or 3 times today.
Ball's back in. Great clearance from
Good
Mount
match
Druitt.
with it.
But again, it's just recycled.
I think this is a matter of time before McStay might be able to convert that to one of those Olympicos, because he has been absolutely putting them.
It's a
on an
beautiful ball,
absolute
Recruit.
dime.
Sure.
Unlucky. Good idea from Rakuto.
But again, just
Ooh, not the best clearance there from Niski.
I just want to point the viewers to one thing. Have a look at the way Rockdale have set up now in possession, out of possession. You've got the back three. You've got McStay basically covering for Constables, push up the field.
Good ball in. Rakuto just stayed down to my left. We'll just keep an eye on Mount Druitt here for me.
Oh,
Unlucky.
correct.
I believe the referee is going to hold play for number 22 from Rockdale, Blake Rakuto. Abs, I did warn you, he didn't look right when that challenge happened.
No.
And I believe he might have to come off here.
Yep, and it looks like we have a substitution. I believe that is Blake Rakuto coming off, and coming on for Blake Rakuto is Michael Marchevsky. I believe Michael Marchevsky is still a youngster. He's gotten the opportunity to come in and play with the side. There we go. I beat them to it, Thomas.
Bet the commentators to that one for.
But yeah, look, it's very much a other ways performed in the second half.
Beautiful
Oh, here
ball
we
in.
go. Oh. Walk's gone back on it. I believe that's a foul to
Unlucky.
Rockdale. Yeah.
Unfortunately there for Blake Rakuto. Blake Rakuto, sorry, my apologies. He's not looking good. He's receiving some medical attention. Thoughts and prayers with him, Alba.
He's had a great game as well. It's a shame he's had to come off due to injury.
Michael slotted into that centre-back role there, the number 16 there for Rockdale Abdul.
Yeah.
Beautifully worked, unlucky there. Lockie's going to look to drive into that midfield third. Wonderfully well. Connects with Ali.
Yeah. Look, again, I just want to focus on McStay for a little bit. Look at his positioning.
It's incredible.
You know, he's able to go into midfield. He's able to push high up. And even before we saw it, when they were on the counter and when they were on and off possession, he'd sit in midfield and it would become a back three at the back. And, you know, again, it goes back to what we mentioned before about Rockdale's versatility. And it's a commodity to have in this league.
It is.
Because there's a lot of, you know, one-dimensional football that can be played. But
Beautiful ball there from Matthew Kamilavsky. Number 99 there for Rockdale.
I think it's still in. Oh, he's still got there. We go.
He's just caught it there, Abdul. We do have a goal kick for Mount Druitt Rangers. Abdul, what do you think of the number 99 there for Rockdale's performance at the back? With a goal, obviously, as well, but I think in possession, the way he's been able to break lines,
Yeah.
especially that Mount Druitt second line of their midfield bank, has been incredible.
Oh, 100%. And you know, another standout. But, like, it's one of those games today where I can't give you one name. I can't just give you one name that I think is going to be able to do well. It's a team effort. It's genuinely a team effort. And, yes, McStay's probably been slightly, I think, just ahead of the attacking three. And that's only because of the hard work that he's put in. You know, I could say the same for Euro. You know, with Ali Kurzewski, with his ability, like I said, to play down the middle, to play out wide, to even dip in and play in almost a false nine role at times. He doesn't rest.
He does not get enough credit for the off-the-ball work that he does.
100%.
He does not.
Like you said that perfectly. And he's recognised for, you know, the goal scoring that he does. He's recognised for, you know, his numbers. But it's the hard work that he puts in that goes unnoticed. And, you know, as I say that now, he's walking back to the halfway line. But, you notice once they get on the ball, the stuff he does off the ball, the space he opens, because, you know, if Ali Kurzewski's running away from him, you've got to follow him. And unfortunately for Mount Druitt, they paid the price of the baker.
He will resume with number 21, William Rankin for Mount Druitt.
Yeah, I believe his brother Jude as well is a part of the squad.
Yep.
Jude Rankin.
What are they feeding the Rankin family there, Abdul?
I don't know, but you know, there's a few families here in football in Australia that have, you know, birthed many footballers, great footballers, and multiple from one family. And it potentially put the Rankins up there. You know, here we go. They're through.
Brilliant work from Lockie Constable. And Rockdale look to spring on the attack here with Blake Cholokan.
Sholakan on the ball. I think that's back with... Yeah, it's back with Lockie.
McStay now.
Constable,
Not
a
the
bit
best
too much
ball.
on that. Yeah.
Not the best ball there from Chris. Yeah, Abdul, I think, just looking over, I think the Rockdale have done well, and Mount Druitt, giving them a little bit of credit here. They've taken the fizz out of Rockdale a bit, Abdul.
Oh, 100%.
Just the spark's gone a little bit there from Rockdale.
Yep.
They want to look to extend their scoreline. Then I think they need to look to get that spark back. Pedrinho plays a short ball. Well read there by Rockdale City Suns.
There you go. And the Baker's on. The Baker is on. Oh, he couldn't find Najjar with that. But, look, you know, Mount Druitt need to be careful. Mount Druitt can't be losing balls in those areas.
Correct,
Because
yeah.
if that does keep happening, they're going to fatigue themselves, and Rockdale will make them pay. And it's you know, it's a fair price to pay when you play in Rockdale, but that's just the quality of the team there. And we've said that a million times.
And not to say 3-0 is a respectable scoreline, Abs, but they want to prevent this from getting ugly. So
Look, Rockdale have put 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 past many teams this year, and you know it's credit to Mount Druitt. Again, they're a hard-working team, and you know if you look back to their game against, let's just go Ali Ogla on the ball there.
beautiful ball.
Leave that Shalakan. Yes. Is he going to play it in? Is he going to go himself?
Decides to go by himself. Beautiful ball in.
Oh,
Concedes the fifth corner this half, Abs.
yeah. And like I want to take you back to Mount Druitt with the game they played. I believe it was 2 weeks ago. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. 1-1 draw against the Wanderers, and you know they went a man down in the first half.
Yep.
They were 1-0 up.
Yep.
But the hard work, the determination, the dedication they had to you know, to their side, you know, potentially winning the game. They didn't end up winning the game. They ended up losing 2-1. It just showed at the end of the day that this is a team that is willing to go all the way, regardless of the result. And we can see it here today. And we're on the corner, I believe. Is that Lockie Constable?
It's Chris McStay.
It's Chris McStay. Going to pass his twins.
Again. Looking to deliver a well-worked ball.
Oh.
Tef clears it from, prevents him from making any trouble there. For Mount Druitt.
crosses
Beautiful
it
ball in.
Oh.
This could be a goal here.
Oh.
Well defended. Brave defending there from Mount Druitt. Putting bodies on the line. Oh, that could be a foul there from Ali.
I will say, though, if you noticed, I think the Baker wanted that one. No, you know, when McStay put the ball into the box, you know, you could say he was a bit frustrated. Yeah. So I think had he left it for him, there's the potential that could have been the case.
Abdul might have a second change here of the day. The first one for Mount Druitt Rangers with a player down. I believe that's number 6. Abs for Mount Druitt Rangers. That would be Jared Mazziola. However, currently number 4 is on for Mount Druitt, which is Zach Stifligol. And coming off is John Azar.
Yeah, I believe that's Tef that's down.
Tef is down.
Yeah. And look, he's I'll give you you know, coming here with our fun facts, UBF and their fun facts today.
UBF fun fact of the day, number 5.
United by facts, mate.
Let's carry on.
So, Zach Sfiligoy used to play in the Serie D.
Did he?
Yeah. Look, he's been a regular contributor off the bench this year, and you know he's shown up with his energy and his pressing ability. But played in Serie D. You know, again, you know, the more you unearth with this league, and people don't realise that
A lot of talent.
there's a lot of experienced talent, and you know it's a great league for a reason. Looks like Tef is back up.
That would be a loss to Mount Druitt if he unfortunately couldn't continue on today's proceedings. That would be a big loss for them.
Yeah.
However, John Azar was the man that was deemed not able to contribute to the game anymore, and we resume with Zach Sifligol's first involvement of the day, which is to push his team forward. An encouraging sign here for Mount Druitt.
I could be wrong, but I believe they've changed formation.
We'll wait and see, Abdul.
Yeah.
They do look to be a bit more narrow with the 2 strikers. You are right.
I think we could be looking at a 4-1-2-1-2.
I believe so, Abdul.
Yeah.
Garang unlucky there. However, positive signs. They're looking to win those second balls now. Mount Druitt Town Rangers.
100%. Look, you got to give it your all. Like, if you're not giving it your all, it's what are you playing for? And you know, that's a respectable side at the end of the day that knows that, you know, if you're not giving 100%, you're not playing for the badge. You know, what are you doing here? They're like, respectfully, that's the honest truth.
Absolutely.
With a lot of footballers.
Absolutely.
And you know, there's winners and losers in the world, and there's winners and losers in life, and you know, everyone has their ups, everyone has their downs, but it's a matter of what you learn from the bad times and what you take from the good times.
Correct. Chris McStay there with a nasty looking foul on Pedrino, the number 10 for Mount Druitt Town Rangers. Did some hard work defending there, which is good for Mount Druitt Town Rangers. And resume play here again. It's just they've looked to play off the free kick cabs, and they've just coughed up possession once again. Beautiful work here. And again, just unable to make that ball stick there. However, good looking, promising looking break here for Rockdale City Suns. Here's
And
the Baker.
He's on. Oh. Oi. Bit of mix up there.
Kick, Abdul, I believe. That ball just went out at the second time of asking there for Alec Kuroseski. Abdul, I possibly hear some thunder in the distance, Abdul.
Yes.
Do you know what that means? Oh, no.
Oh, we're talking
the song by AC/DC, mate.
Oh, no, that's Thunderstruck.
Well, thunder is striking down. Hopefully not at Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre.
Well, rain, go away. Come again another day because unfortunately not so much the facility, the little room that we commentate from here has tiny little holes in the roof. So we may or may not get
That's okay, Abdul. We don't want to make the show about UBF and our obviously.
No, we don't. But no one wants to listen to wet commentators. So I'd rather make it home dry.
Correct. He's Alec Kuroseski pressing well.
Ooh.
Maybe he does commit a foul on Niski. Abdul, possible signs of Alec Kuroseski maybe getting a bit frustrated. He's had a couple of chances now. Maybe frustration that he's not found the back of the net yet.
Yeah, he'd probably come into this game expecting to find the back of the net, and unfortunately, look, Mount Druitt have done it. Tef has been a massive help in that, but I think ultimately, the way the midfield has dropped back to help, because you got to look at his positioning at the moment. He likes to play on the edge of that defense, but the problem is the amount of times he's gotten him behind on his own. He's gotten through, and Tef's actually been able to catch up to him. I think that's frustrated him a lot.
It has.
And whereas generally he's dealing with a lot slower centre backs, a lot less physical centre backs, and people could probably bully in the air as well. And he hasn't had that chance with Tef, but Rockdale on the break. Ali Ogla.
Brilliant work.
Ali Ogla's through. The Baker, one-on-one with the keeper. He's ruled offside, unfortunately.
Abdul, but you see, it's just that class, that experience, the way they know how to play. Chalakan receives the ball, and it's straight away, within 3 seconds, they're off.
Yeah.
Beautiful ball to the number 24 of Rockdale. Ali Ogla. Ogla, my apologies. Again, it's lightning quick.
Yeah.
Sorry about the lightning pun that it's unfolding before our eyes. Yeah, hopefully, lightning does stay away, and we're able to watch an absolute attacking spectacle unfold before our eyes at the beautiful Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre. Look,
the one benefit of having two people on commentary is we can sit there and not so much correct each other's names. We can help each other with the names. We've had times where you're doing a video by yourself, or here we go, I think Rockdale's on the attack. Lucky Constable's gone out wide.
Nah, he's a player that, as we alluded to before, is comfortable.
Hey.
That's a nasty foul there.
Yeah.
By Jared Martzeda. You're right, Abs. It's just 3 seconds. It's just so quick. They're ready to go. Lucky Constable's remained out wide. Looks to deliver in a good ball. Chooses to settle and recycle and reset.
Here we go.
Here we are with Blake Chalokan. Beautiful ball in. Well dealt with by Mount Druitt.
Oh, there we go.
It's a foul there.
You can hear some of the fans.
But after we saw how quickly there when the foul was committed.
Yeah.
Straight away, they're looking to reset.
Sorry, that McStay again.
In
the air, on the ground,
Absolutely
on the ball. He's everywhere.
He is.
There we go. Looking for a cross in. Look, the Baker's impatiently waiting. You can see him there.
He's Lucky Constable looking to get involved. Chooses to recycle to Chris McStay. Can I say he's got a wonderful delivery on him as well, Abs. He's got a wonderful delivery. The way, the power, the precision. Looks to take it down the line.
Lost a bit of footwork there. It's
Beautiful
in the box with
in.
Shalakan. It's with Shalakan. Oh.
Zach, the number 4 from Mount Druitt Rangers, stiffly goal.
Wee.
Beautiful defending there.
Right, Ali Will is recovering to his feet.
Danzo.
Right.
It's Lockie. Back with Isaac Danzo. Beautiful ball in to Chalokan. Zach Sifligol. A couple of his first touches have been excellent, Abs. You can see why he's had the experience overseas.
Yeah. Look, and I want to give a big shout out to Giorgio Speranza as well. He's gone from centre back to left back since the departure of Rikuccia at half time, just after half time. My apologies, and he's absolutely killed it. The number 5 for Rockdale has been, immense since then, and he's really taken to the attacking side of it. I feel like sometimes centre backs, if you give them the time up top, they'll really enjoy. They'll give you 10 out of 10 performances up front.
I agree.
Because, they don't get that chance that often.
They don't.
No. Here we go.
Good pressure here from Rockdale. Tef is very calm on the ball. And again, if they can carry this on, now Druitt Town Rangers, then this is a positive and encouraging sign going forward.
Yeah, 100%. And, there we go. Look for another switch.
Decent ball. Well done.
And he finds, I believe that's Rankin on the wing.
Rankin. Beautiful ball in. Positive.
Turns her out. Rankin back into the box.
Crack it.
Is he going to hit it?
Decides not to. Chooses a sensible option and resets.
Macarola's back on the ball.
Beautiful ball in.
Sends it back out to Rankin. He's going to look for a walk. Is he not? No.
Does what? Thomas Lopez.
Oh.
Just wide.
Mate, that was one for the old school, mate.
Tell you what, mate, back in school he was one of our players. When you give him the ball, Abs, he just created those magic moments. And he's had a few good touches today, Abs, but he's one of those players that needs the ball, wants the ball.
Yeah. And
he's a player that's not shy and scared to get involved, and that's just a glimpse of what he can do.
Yeah, and like even with me, I was fortunate enough to go to school with James Tomakovsky. Played for Marconi last year. And yeah, you just see it. Like, you just know from back then, like, from a young age, they're destined to go places. And, you see it with Lopez. You see it with JT last year as well at Marconi, now the Wanderers. Used to be a Rockdale player as well back in the day.
Maybe not the best thing to mention. Rockdale Ilinden Centre.
History is history.
History is history.
Can't change history. There we go. Playing out.
And again, not the best touch there from Garang Awok, the number 7 for Mount Druitt Town Rangers.
Oh, Danzo.
Well pressed there by Thomas Lopez.
Danzo's feeling a bit there.
Ball stays with Rockdale and currently with Chris McStay. Here we are with the Rockdale City Suns. Beautiful ball.
Danzo out to Speranza. Out to Ali Ogla.
Beautiful
Crosses it in.
This could be 4.
Is that the Baker? Oh.
There is a corner.
That was not the Baker. That was, in fact, Brendan Sholikan.
However, I do think it's about time that Chris McStay does possibly deliver a more deadly ball, a more dangerous ball, because we can see where he wants to go. He wants to trouble number 1 in Dylan Niski. He wants to put it right in his spot, Abs.
Did you say Amo?
Pardon?
Did you say Amo?
I did not say Amo. Here we are.
For all those listening, Amo means let's go.
Maybe all this time I gave you the wrong meaning of Amo.
Oh, I hope not.
No, definitely not.
All right, McStay about to whip a ball in. He's got Ali Agla as a short option, but I don't think he's going to use it. Whips it in. Oi.
Dangerous.
Oh, Shalakan off the crossbar. And it's number 4 for Rockdale. Wow.
Beautiful.
It was coming. It was
coming. Definitely.
It was coming. And honestly, like, they push and they push and they push.
But I was even on that, not the best delivery there from not the best delivery there from Chris McStay, but they've won every single second ball.
Yeah.
And the new boy,
The substitute.
yeah, at centre back Abdul, maybe not the commentator's curse, the commentator's blessing, Abdul, gets a goal and the 4th goal of the day for Rockdale Ilinden.
It is 4-0. I believe we're nearing the back end of the game now.
Yeah.
And it's, Mount Druitt need to keep their heads up because Rockdale in no time, Euro still wants another goal. The boys are hungry, and it's that you need to keep your head up in that sense. And if you don't do that, it could be 5 and 6 before you know it.
Hopefully from Mount Druitt Town Rangers, that isn't the case. And we resume play here off kickoff with about 15 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And again, unfortunately, they just can't make it stick here.
There we go.
Abdul, I believe I just felt some raindrops here, Abdul. Unfortunately, we'll have a chat to the Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre, and hopefully they can get a cover for us.
Sheltered cover, hopefully. We're in the scaffolding. Oh, there's a bit of thunder.
There's a bit of thunder there. Hopefully he can hold it for about 15 minutes to go, Abs, I believe.
No, yeah, we're in the 74th minute. We've managed to pull up a timer. There we go. Okay. Let's come through. The goal scorer just gets rid of it.
He does.
Marchevsky. He's an absolute player, and you got Rankin coming through. Oh,
Speranza
through.
Brilliant challenge.
The Baker. Oh, Ali Ogla. He's 1-on-1 with the keeper. That is a great save.
Great save. Abdul, great save, but I think the number 24 of Rockdale, if he had his time again, he will try and find those two corners, because he unfortunately went straight to the keeper's middle, and unfortunately that could have been 5. Dare I say, game over. I think it was already game over.
Yeah.
Dare I say.
Look, it could be 5. Could have been more than that with earlier this game, but again, I'm gonna go back and credit Mount Druitt. They're still trying. Like, it's very, very hard for a team to be able to do that. And I've probably said that about 4 times this call, but it's true. It's true, and it's hard if you're coming into a game against a much for a cross in the box.
Chris McStay.
The Baker's waiting at the back post. Just letting you know. Ooh.
Back with Chris McStay. Chooses to recycle to Isaac Denzo with Lockie Constable. Back to Chris McStay. Can we see one of his delicious deliveries?
Ooh.
Not the best there. Abdul, he does see some thunder. The referee has decided he's bringing in the 2 linesmen. We'll just still wait for the official confirmation here, Abs.
Yeah, we'll just give them a minute, and
I believe he's putting the pause on the game, Abs. Do you know the exact rules on where this goes from now?
No, but we will communicate back. I believe it's half an hour, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
We had experienced this before.
We're just waiting here for the 4th official. The 4th official is coming across as well. We'll get some official communication as soon as we receive it, guys. They have seen some lightning there. Can confirm there is most definitely some rain here. Beautiful part of the world, Abdul, Rockdale.
Yeah.
I dare I say a bit traumatic weather sometimes, Abdul.
Yeah, look.
Problematic.
The rain has been, let's just say, teasing us all day today. It's been, waving around its dark clouds, but we saw a bit of thunder before, and I believe the ruling is it's for every 10 seconds or so, it's 10 kilometers. I'm no geologist or
good to say, Abdul.
Whatever the weather person is, or Tim Bailey from Channel 10.
Yep.
But yeah, I believe it's a half an hour wait or so. We will get back and confirm with you guys. If it doesn't go away and it does get closer, there is a potential postponement or you end the game there.
We'll be in the game there, yeah. We'll just wait for our official confirmation here. I believe we'll go and have a chat to the referees there from Football New South Wales.
And we'll get back to you guys.
Thank you, guys. Talk soon.
So what's the...
All right, guys, just got official confirmation here at the Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre. Unfortunately, due to the rain and thunder in the proximity of the Rockdale and Bexley area, we do have to wait a minimum of 30 minutes, I believe.
Yes, I believe it's half an hour. Then the officials will make a decision from there. Obviously, it's just within, like you said, the proximity of the thunder. If it does persist, there'll be then a further decision made. But up until then, stay warm, stay cozy. If the game does go on and we have to come back, we'll be back.
We'll keep you guys updated with every piece of information that we hear. However, Abdul, just quickly on the game, 4-0, could have been 5 and 6. It was an absolute wonderful spectacle of attacking football that we saw, Abs, especially from Rockdale Ilinden.
Yeah, look, it's expected. You know, second place in the league isn't a joke, and at the end of the day, when it comes to Mount Druitt, I can't fault them. You know, they've tried hard, they've worked hard, and it's unfortunate they haven't been able to score. But when you've got a defence, especially, you know, when you look in attack as well, like Rockdale have had, could have been 5, could have been 6,
Correct.
like you've said. But at the end of the day, like we said, second place is not a joke. And,
It is.
you know, that takes them, I believe, to within
Touching distance on Marconi.
distance on Marconi, and we'll get an update on the scorer there as well. But right now, there's every chance that Rockdale could potentially be first.
It is, and they're most definitely praying, Abdul, that this game does get resumed as soon as possible to carry on that momentum, to get some more goals on the score sheet, to extend their goal difference of 26 to possibly 30 and 31, 32. We will see what happens. We'll keep you guys updated every step of the way. But for now, at Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre, stay tuned.
Turn the camera this way.
Not against it. Not against it.
They're used to it.
We are.
Turn around.
Carefully locked up bag. So.
Yeah.
Up there. Hold on.
I know.
Yeah.
Just stand with it. You start or I'll start?
No, you okay.
Do you know roughly when that died, or the SD was full? Did you get a bit of us speaking?
If we've got the start, I'm happy with the start. That's it.
So we can post something.
Yeah.
You guys are live.
3, 2. All right, Tom, we've come back with a verdict. Or not so much us, the referees have come back with a verdict.
we have.
The official ruling is that if 70% or more has been played of the game,
Yeah.
it can be abandoned at that point. So they officially ruled that the game will be abandoned at 4-0 to Rockdale Ilinden. So it's over. Rockdale have won. They've done it in 75 minutes instead of 90. But your overall thoughts after all that?
Yeah, correct, Abs. After 2 periods of about 15, which turned into 20, then 30 minutes, the game was finally abandoned after about 77 minutes, Abs, we saw on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
But, yeah, credit to Rockdale. Credit to Rockdale. Mount Druitt, unfortunately, they weren't, for me, in my simple view, they just didn't manage to win enough second balls. They didn't assert themselves enough.
Yeah.
Credit to them. I'm not going to blame it on effort, Abs. I don't think that would be right of me because the effort was there. There was constant pressure. There was attempts at goal. But unfortunately, Rockdale do what they do best, and now they officially lead the men's NPL Australia, Football New South Wales leaderboard, and they're in first place, 1 point above the premiers from last year, Marconi.
Yes, Marconi Stallions drawing 2-2 to St George FC out at Barton Park. Not too far from here, actually. Their game actually concluded. It finished just in time. But yeah, out here at Rockdale, just to reaffirm that point. If both teams can agree, once 70% or more of the game that's been played, they can abandon the game. And before we head off, again, 4-0 to Rockdale over Mount Druitt Town Rangers. So, I guess we'll be signing off, Tom, and we'll be back next weekend, actually, next Saturday, for Sutherland versus St George FC.
We will, Abs, we will.
I believe that's Seymour Shore.
It is.
Or as a good friend once called it, the Hello Seymour Shore.
The hallowed ground of the Seymour Shore. We have been United by Football. I've been Thomas.
I mean, Abs.
Ciao from now.